messing around, calling all you freaks and nerds. You're just missing what you want. My brother's going down the drain, my sister's living the dream, but everybody's singing along.
Thanks for watching. Today we're painting the AXIAL SCX6 Gladiator. And in case you wonder, no, that's not a truck that's for sale. It's a truck that I built over the course of 4 or 5 videos. So I took a regular AXIAL SCX, I'm still really bad at moving myself. I took a regular SCX6 body, chopped it in half, stretched the chassis, and did a ton of stuff to it. You can check that out in the playlist. Today is paint day, finally, because I'm really looking forward to sling some paint and call this thing done. Over here you see what I have planned for the background. This video will be, we'll focus on the background just because I want to have that done. And I'm going to do that in a way that I haven't done it before. And after that I will walk you through the detail that I put on this body. Over here you see kind of what I have planned. So I want to fade it from a reddish hue on top to like an orange-yellow type of thing. Lower down. So what we're going to do to achieve that is we're going to spray some translucent paints first. After that we're going to hit it with a lame flake, and after that we're going to hit it with a metallic paint. Crazy, I know, right? And then we're going to back everything with a black. So we're going to fade translucent red to a translucent orange to a translucent yellow in the bottom. Back everything with lame flake, and then we're going to back this part first with like a metallic red. Then we're going to fade it to a copper, and then eventually we're going to fade it to a gold. After that we're going to back everything with black, but that we'll do at the next stage of the paint scheme, in which we also peel a ton of the black stuff from the body, because there's a lot of black detail on here as well. I decided to go with this paint scheme. There's a HemiStorm logo on the side. There's also a mountain ridge, sort of like stylized in the very bottom. On the hood cowl, whatever you want to, is it called a cowl? The turbo scoop thing. I put 1962. Jeep actually has put 1941 on some of their JLUs as a tribute to the first year of Jeep. I put 1962 on there as a tribute to the first year of the Gladiator. I also put Provocator on the sides, because that's a type of Gladiator that can actually switch between weaponry. And I have made an SCX6 Gladiator that I can take the canopy off and put it on again really easily. So it is a very versatile rig, and I want to kind of emphasize that with this paint scheme. Enough yip yap, let's start painting and see where this thing goes.
Everyone's a hypocrite. In this game we cannot win. Hey, what's the matter with the bright red lights? Hey, in the moment when the world went blind, but everything's alright. We don't give a damn this time.
Alright, we're a couple of coats in. These translucent paints, really be careful painting them. If usually I tell you to spray thin coats, take half of that and take a bit off of that even, and then perhaps you're already spraying it thick enough. You really don't need a lot of paint. This translucent paint, it really goes runny really fast. So just like smoke paint, for example, it is a true pain in the neck to paint with. Really super thin coats. Put it in some hot water to make sure that you get the pressure in the can up, and then lay a thin coat, lay one more coat, perhaps I did 2 coats over here as well, and I backed it in this case with a lame flake just to get a bit of a sparkle in there. I will back this with some metallic paints that I will also fade. After that I'll back everything with a black. So let's see how that will turn out.
But you really said no to get the light up, Jesus.
this shows how absolutely transparent this still is. So there's almost no paint on it, while I have already sprayed smoke, translucent red, translucent orange, translucent yellow, lame flake, metallic red, copper, metallic orange, and also gold. So there's plenty of colors on here, and you can see straight through them. So this is going to be a whole lot darker than it currently is. There's going to be plenty of black in here, so you see a lot of black surfaces over here. So all of that stuff is going to be filled in with black. So I'm going to end up with black roof, black hood scoop, black window frames, and also some black HemiStorm logos on the side. At least for most part they will be black. And then also those mountain ridges, or those silhouettes, they will be black. And of course the front grille. So all of that stuff is next. Here as well, really thin coats. Take your time, use plenty of time in between of the coats. Just make sure that they're really fully dry. Put it on a lamp, go have a coffee, have a beer, just go do something else. No hurry at all in finishing this. Well, so far so good. I got one coat of black on, and I think you can already tell that the tint in this red and also in that yellow that's in the bottom is vastly different from where we started. This is also why it is paramount that you use a spray out bit. So if you are not sure what you're doing and you just want to check a tint before you actually spray it on the body, especially a body like this is not cheap, go use a scrap piece, make a spray out so you can check your color before you actually put it on the body. I did it over here as well, pays off, really cheap trick. Let's put another coat of black on here. Unmasking for our next color. So the top, the main part of the top is going to be neon yellow. Also the script is going to be neon yellow, and then these three lines in the bottom, those are going to be red. What I did is I cut a tiny band off of the top and also off those bottom three lines. I'm not sure if you can see that, but we will peel those. Which I'm going to paint the opposite color. So in the top, those are going to be neon yellow, and then that little accent color is going to be red. And in the bottom, those three lines are going to be red, and the accent color is going to be yellow. Now what you do with a line like this, if it ends in a spike, you always peel it towards the spike. So I don't use a plotter, I always use a tape or liquid mask, but in this case this is tape. You peel it towards the tip of that line. If you do it the other way around, chances are 99% that you will mess it up and take the other piece of masking with it. See, it comes off like that. Really, this is mega detailed, so this is like a ½ millimeter at the very tip. Usually this is where I downplay the situation and say, just like that, we're done. Just like that, we are done, I guess, in this video. But this really was not an easy process, not just the paint job, but to build this entire truck. I've been going through the painting footage and I was actually shocked to see how baggy my eyes are. But it just goes to show that, yes, I do occasionally really put in on really late nights, just because I want to get things to where I hope that they will be. Building this truck was a long process. The paint job is for me just the cherry on top. Also, to get to that point, I really need to sort of hold back in not rushing towards the finishing line. Just because I'm so keen to get it painted up. But I think that it always pays off in the end. Now, the same goes for the paint job itself. So if you do have the time and if you do have the confidence in your own skills to, for example, paint on a shut line, just go take your time and do that. Because I think that it makes a truck look so much better. Not just the shut lines, but also, for example, those beads around the windows. It just adds an enormous amount of detail that otherwise you really miss in looking at a truck. So over here as well, I put on the shut lines, I put on all of the window beads. I also put on some flat clear over those mountain ridges. Those are really stylized just because I don't want it to look super lame like you see on so many full-size Jeeps, where they put on like a mountain ridge with like a tiny tree and like a sun that is either setting or rising, whatever. And I also wanted something to blend in with this styrene part over here. So this is all of the stuff that I added. In case you're not familiar with this build, I stretched it like 3 inches or 72 millimeters it was, and then the rear bumper I stretched another 17 millimeters. So in total this thing is over 9 centimeters longer than a stock SCX6, just because I wanted to have something that is a bit more versatile, something that is a Gladiator, something that would also allow me to put this canopy on the back. So this mountain ridge kind of flows nicely, I think, into this rear fender that I made. Also, I relocated the fuel cap, put a HemiStorm logo in here. There's a ton of 3D printed stuff that I will talk about in a minute. And then that also goes for that back piece over here as well. You see the mountain ridge. In case you wonder what I have inside of this canopy, in case you're just here for paint videos, this is what I fabricated. So it has like a slide out drawer with inside of that an SCX Gladiator, which I think is really fun. This is also the joke it started with. Wouldn't it be fun if there was a Gladiator with a Gladiator inside of it? And boy, have I regretted saying that at some point during this build. These mud flaps, these come from a Losi 5, and then turning it further around. There's plenty of detail going on over here. If you want to see how I built this thing, so this is an AXIAL SCX6. It is a Gladiator, and if you wonder how I did it, there's 5 other videos that you can watch where I built this entire thing, starting from stretching the frame, still really bad at muting my stuff, to finally then painting it up, which is the video that you're looking at right now. And this was a super fun process, also to figure it out with those translucent coats. Coming up with a theme is always nice, I think. So I got the 1962 on the hood, which is the first year the Jeep Gladiator was ever introduced. I got the Provocator on the sides, which I think is also a nice little personal touch. And then of course a couple of HemiStorm logos with that mountain ridge and a couple of contrasting colors. I cannot wait to take this thing out in the sun and actually see it move over the trails and over the rocks, and see it behave with its extra chassis length, and also see how the light dances off of those lame flakes that I put inside of that paint job. If you want to have any more information about the AXIAL SCX6, the SCX24 that sits in the back, the Team K&K hardware that I used on this truck, the Spec RC rims, or any of the 3D printed goods by Night Customs that I got from my mini factory, or of course my 3D printer or the CNC machine that I made a lot of this stuff on, go check out all of the links in the video description box. And if you can't find what you're looking for over there, or if you just want to cuss me out or whatever you want to do, let me know in the comment section. I always enjoy reading your feedback. I hope you're having fun painting. Remember to take your time. Also remember that it does not have to be perfect. No paint job ever is perfect, because if you have imperfect paint jobs, it also gives you an opportunity and a reason to paint up another body at some point in time. So those tiny imperfections, keep in mind that most likely you are the only one who notices them and the only one who sees them. And I think it's those imperfections that make a paint job really nice and interesting to look at. I will see who is bugging me on my phone. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.
Back on.